The step to put the apparatus in pump gear would be you would pull it up to the scene, you would stop, put the park brake on, put the apparatus in neutral, then you would engage the pump gear, then you would put the apparatus back in drive. Now if you were operating an E1 apparatus, you would put the generator in before you put it in pump gear. Also, if you're not in neutral, when you try to put it in pump gear, you will hear a grinding sound. When the apparatus is in pump gear, is you're going to see an increase in the speedometer. You're going to see the indicator lights come on showing that you're in pump gear, and you're also not going to have any throttle response. You'll also have a fourth gear lockout. Things to look for when you're at your pump panel to know that you're in pump gear is you'll have a pump discharge pressure here, you'll have a ready light here, throttle ready light here, and if you're not sure, look over here at your pump override, it should be out. If for some reason you notice that your pump panel is not engaged in electronic pump gear, you want to move forward and put it into manual pump gear. The first step would be to move your pump shift to neutral. Then you would move back, take your pump shift override, pull it out until it engages. Then you're going to move back to your pump shift, put it into pump gear. Then you would proceed to take and put the apparatus in drive, and that should give you manual pump gear. On this side of the pumper, I have one 4-inch intake on this side and a 2.5-inch intake on this side. I also have the same on the other side. As discharges go, I have a large 4-inch discharge and a 3-inch discharge on the captain's side of the apparatus. On this side, at the rear of the pumper, I have a 2.5-inch discharge. I have a deck gun. We have all our cross lays and 2 discharges on this side that are 1 3/4 or 2.5 inch. There are 2 types of pressure governors. This apparatus is equipped with electronic. If the electronic failed, you would want to use the manual. And the manual you would set to a specific pressure to keep pressure spikes from happening in the line. This pump panel, we have pressure and RPM modes. You would use the pressure mode if you needed to keep a standard constant pressure at the end where the nozzle's at. You would use RPM mode if you were going to be using drafting operations. 200 foot of 1 3/4, pumping 150 gallons per minute, I would pump 35 PSI plus 100 for my nozzle. 300 foot of 2.5 inch with an 1 1/8 smoothbore nozzle. We're going to pump 52 PSI for friction loss in the hose, 50 PSI for our nozzle, which should give us a pump panel pressure of 102. That should give us 265 gallons per minute.